welcome to my channel. My name is Katapal. As you may have seen from the title of this video is going to be a travel vlog which documents my relocation from Zambia to the UK. I've been in the UK for a couple of months now, but I'm just now getting to shoot this video just because I was kind of busy settling down and getting into routine before I jumped into editing and YouTube and such. I filmed this video on my old iPhone, which was like super old and couldn't record audio. I was only able to record like the video, which is why I'm doing this sit down video, so I can kind of like give context to some of the happenings of this video. Before we get into the video itself, I would like to give some information on some of the things that I think that you guys might have some questions about. So first things, I am here in the UK on a skilled worker visa. I'm working here as a domiciliary carer, which by the way, I filmed a video that will come up probably after this video, which is kind of like a day in the life of a domiciliary carer who doesn't drive, because I don't drive. And when I was doing the process of like preparing to come to the UK, I looked up so many videos of dom carers who have no cars, and I could never really find one. Like all the videos that I found were like dom carers who have cars. So I always thought, you know what, when I'm doing it, I'm definitely gonna make a video about that, so that if anyone else is in a similar situation as me, maybe that could be helpful. So if that is something that you would like to see, please do make sure that you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified as soon as I post that video. The second thing I would like to talk about is how I got this job. So this job was gotten through online applications. I did not have to pay any money for this job. I only paid for my rent, and everything that remained from that money was refunded to me, so I didn't pay anything. I don't really advise people doing that because a lot of people have gotten scammed, and those that have not and have technically been brought to the UK, there are a lot of people that have found themselves in situations where they came to a company that doesn't really have a lot of clients, which means lesser hours. And so I have seen some people who have ended up homeless because of it, and it's just a very unfortunate situation. You do not want to be in that. Like, the UK is so cold and rainy. You really do not want to do that to yourself, like, trust me. So I would advise that you do a lot of research. Just really research the companies before you even get here. If you are able to find somebody who maybe works there, that would be even better. But if not, I know there are some groups on Telegram where for people who are trying to come to the UK, and there's also people who are already in the UK in those groups, and they just kind of like bounce information around. You can ask like, hey, does anybody know this company or know anyone who's at this company, and just so you can kind of like get a feel of things, just to make sure, because girl, you do not want to be like. The next thing I want to talk about that a lot of people usually have questions about is my visa application process. So I don't know when exactly I applied for my visa, but I do know that it was in July of 2022, and it took about 14 business days. Like, they tell you it would take 14 business days, and it did, but sometimes it might take longer. But for me, it did take 14 business days, and I got the call and just booked the plane ticket right then and on, because some of my documents, like my TB test, was expiring literally on the 31st of July, so I could not afford to waste any time. I got my decision, got the call, booked my ticket, and here I am. So yeah, papers that you would need: your passport, your IELTS, TV certification, police report. These I consider to be the essential travel documents. You are going to need to add some supporting documents as well. So this is where I put things like my national registration card, my qualifications. I only put qualifications that were relevant to this job. So that's my care certificates, both the ones I did online and physically at a school in Zambia. I also put my first aid certification in there. I think that's about it. I did not include anything to do with biomedical science just because I didn't think it was a relevant qualification to this job anyway. I also put things like my COVID certificate in there, like whatever you think might be important, just add it there, you never know. So with all of that out of the way, let's just get into this video. I will pop in a little bit later in the video just to talk about my entry point experience at UK immigration, like when we landed here in the UK at Heathrow. But other than that, let's just get right into this video. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I really do not like braids, so I decided I was just gonna do some twist outs. I searched up online for some salons that I could go to, and I ended up going to this really popular salon called Natural Curls, and girl, it was so disappointing. Like, the result was just so disappointing. I did not like this hair at all, but like, whatever. Maybe it's something in the water. That evening I just did a lot of packing. I didn't really realize how attached I was to my clothes until I realized that I was going to have to leave a lot of it. And this was mostly because I had so much food stuff that I needed to carry, and that's one thing you shouldn't sleep on. If you have certain food that you like, make sure you carry it. Because trust me, I didn't know just how much having food from home really helps you to adjust. You go through so many changes when you move to another country that just having food that you eat or someone who speaks your language is very comforting. At least it is for me. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water. Or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why it would be a good idea to buy a luggage scale or find a way to measure the weight of your bags at home, because trust me, you do not want to do that at the airport, because you might end up having to remove stuff that you need, and you don't need that kind of headache. Before I left, I wanted to meet up with a lot of friends and just hang out with my family, because honestly at that point I didn't know when I'll be seeing them in person again. It's gonna hurt even more than the stars we gave it all. We had its time to say bye, baby, bye. I'll be, you'll be, yeah, we'll be fine. So let's call it a night, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, 'cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. When I tell you that my sister is so extra, like, you know why you gotta leave me here right now before we make. Out of all the people I said goodbye to, I would say that the hardest was definitely my grandma, because it gets you thinking of things you don't even want to fathom, you know, like considering she's getting older in age and you don't even know like when you'll be coming back. So saying goodbye to my grandmother definitely hit the hardest.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work. Going
Last time I was at this airport, I was sending off my cousin who lives here in the UK and had come home for a visit in Zambia. I just remember saying to her at that time, kind of like just as a joke, like the next time I'll be coming back to this airport, I would be the one leaving. And the fact that that actually became a reality is just so mind-blowing to me. Just knowing that I actually manifested this to happen is still so unbelievable to me. It's like so insane.
Nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take the love that we make. It's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been thinking about myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah. You always make me feel like, oh yeah. You never leave my thoughts alone, yeah.
The plane taking off was honestly one of the scariest things that I have ever done in my life. It felt kind of like going up a very fast elevator, and if I'm being honest, most of the flight really felt like being in an elevator. Anyway, so I flew Emirates with a connection in Dubai.
How I'm longing for this day. Yes.
Usually when people talk about plane food, it's just about how awful it is, but let me tell you, this Emirates food was so delicious. Like, I just ordered everything with chicken because when in doubt, I always order chicken, and it did not disappoint.
Times you want to spend some time back here with me. And time after time, I am wondering who is she to me. I'm gonna tell you right now, 'cause she's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without. Oh, that smile makes me tripping out.
I was actually really surprised by how well I was able to sleep on this flight, because one moment I was watching Avatar and the next thing I know I'm waking up and we're about to land in Dubai. Now, if you know me, you know that your girl loves herself some BTS, so you know I was out here listening to some BTS on this plane, okay?
I got this good on times. You want to spend some time back here with me. And time after time, I am wondering who is she.
So we finally landed in Dubai, and girl, people are always saying how hot Africa is, but Dubai, it has like nothing on us. Immediately you got off the plane, it felt like you were being hit by a wall of humidity. It was literally so insane. Like, I have never experienced that kind of heat, and I have lived in Africa for 29 years, bro. Like, it was so hot. Not gonna lie though, that airport is gorgeous. It was so interesting just seeing the contrast of where I was and thinking about where I was coming from. It was like so insane.
I can live without, can live without. Time after time after time, I'm wondering who is she to me. I'm gonna tell you right now, 'cause I'm gonna tell you right now, 'cause she's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without.
It was finally time to get on the next plane, and this time it was the really, really big Airbus. And the food did not disappoint in this one either. And I've come to the realization that if I can help it, I will always fly Emirates just for the food. Like, on God, top tier. 10 out of 10 recommend, actually.
Tell you right now, 'cause she's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without. She's the one I'm thinking of. Hey, the only one I'm thinking of. Hey, she's everything I'm dreaming of. Hey, the one that I can live without. Can live without. Time after time after time, I'm wondering who is she to me. I'm gonna tell you right now, 'cause
So when we finally landed at Heathrow, they separated us into two groups. So there was one group that did not have to go through immigration, and there was our group that had to go through immigration. I'm assuming this group was like British people and people that did not need to use visas and such. But anyway, my immigration point of entry experience was honestly pretty seamless. And before I continue, I just want to put a huge disclaimer here. Your point of entry experience is going to be vastly different from other people's experience, unless maybe you're landing at the same time. So many things can affect your point of entry experience, like even the little things, like the mood of the agent that's handling you, or what time of day it is. Like, for example, I arrived around 4 o'clock, and you know, like, that job is pretty hectic. There's lots of people coming into the UK on every given day, and so like when you arrive at the end of the day, the agents are tired, they're looking forward to going home, they're over it, just want to get it done for the day. And so I arrived at that time, and the agent that handled my case, honestly, she didn't even ask me anything. Like, she just asked for my passport. Then she asked me if I knew where I was going. Like, immediately I mentioned the town I was going to. She was just like, welcome to the UK, here's your passport. And that was it. But my roommate, who came like a week later, arrived in the morning when the shifts are just starting. Everybody is super energetic, and so she was asked a lot of questions, like, what job are you here to do, specifications about the job, like what kind of work do you expect to do in this job, and all those kinds of things. Then I know there was another girl who was kept back for like an hour or two. She had to go through all her documents, talk about the job, just many questions. Whereas for me, the only document that I showed literally was just my passport. So it can be different from person to person. My only advice is that you just come prepared for any given scenario. You could be like me and just like breeze through in 30 to 40 minutes, or you could be like my roommate who had to go through some rigorous questions, you know. So it just really depends on the day and time and situation, so you can't really be sure of how your experience is gonna be.
It's Friday night, how I'm longing for this day. Yes, I'm single, oh, we want to mingle, and my friends are on the way. You got that good vibe, I want to spend some time back here with you. Oh, I got that good old times. You want to spend some time back here with me.
So that was pretty much my journey of relocating from Zambia to the UK. If you found this video helpful at all, please do subscribe to my channel and like this video as well so that other people can see it and you'll be supporting me in the process as well. Like I said at the beginning of this video, my next video is going to be a day in the life of a non-driving dom care worker in the UK. So if that is something that you're really interested in seeing, please do make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss that video at all. And if you have been watching this video up until this point, make sure to comment these emojis as well as any questions that you might have down below in the comment section. Other than that, I love you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video.